Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. It's Friday afternoon. That means we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook with P2P Live, where we talk about everything employment and jobs throughout Australia and New Zealand. So, well, it's been a very interesting week as we pile into Christmas with just two more broadcasts actually for P2P Live before we take a break for Christmas. And this week I had the chance to get back on a plane for the first time in I think it would be a solid year, and I got to visit our Melbourne office. We had the Melbourne. That's actually the board for People to People in Melbourne there with Liz Punch and Erin Devlin and Greg and myself. I've gone all Melbourne with my light-coloured jacket, being very fashionable. That's the Melbourne crew as we went out to celebrate what is an extraordinary time in the market in Melbourne. I think there's one other picture as well. Of course, we went out to enjoying the food in Melbourne as well. One thing that was very typically Melbourne, though, on the afternoon was the weather. So we had, it was very hot and steamy. Then there was a storm that came through, and then it was very pleasant after that. So it was like four seasons in one day, which sort of Melbourne lived up to its reputation. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about jobs and employment. And so today we'll go through our regular numbers section. In Australia this week, we had the release of the GDP numbers. So I thought I'd make a comparison on a state-by-state globally and also between the different cycles that we've had before. So watch out for that one. Then we'll be crossing to Zara in Melbourne, where we'll be talking about our temp of the month. And then finally, we'll be chatting to Jamie Taylor in Queensland with the supply chain opportunity for us as well. We have Fill Job Friday, 3 immediate temp jobs we need to fill today to get started on Monday. And finally, the Twitter poll where we will be releasing the results of last week, where we asked everybody, are you looking to change a job in 2022? We'll talk around the Great Resignation. We'll share our results of our poll from last week as well. So let's jump into it. Let's get started with our market update and the GDP figures basically for this that was released this week. And everybody was expecting the numbers to be not so good. And it turned out that way. So about 2.5, I think, % negative growth. It was, I think some commentators were expecting the number to be worse than that. It was mainly driven by the consumer spending by Australians in Victoria and New South Wales. They just weren't out spending at all. And that translated during the lockdowns, of course, so translated in that quarter for it to be negative. So given the experience as we rose out of the COVID recession, you can see the increase. We're fully expecting that there would be return to growth next quarter, in the December quarter, as Victoria and New South Wales have now not experiencing lockdowns. Let's see what the differences are between state by state. And so you can see the color coding there is the brown and the white are the negative. And New South Wales was definitely the worst out of the states. And you can see with minus 6.5%, Victoria coming in second, minus 1.4%, Queensland growing by 1.8%, South Australia 1.4%, Western Australia 0.6%. Given the unemployment rate and the way the market's operating in WA, and particularly from our office, you can see that I was surprised that number wasn't higher. 4.2% in Tasmania, the Territory 4%, and ACT declined given the lockdowns at 1.6%. So no real surprises there, except maybe WA. If we move then to the next slide, and we can do an international comparison of this quarter, and you can see that France, Italy, Germany, the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States are all positive, but with France and Italy leading the way in the recovery, and Australia at minus 2%, 1.9%. It's got there. That was very interesting to see that comparison globally. If we have a look at the growth over the cycle, which I thought was more relevant for us. If you could quickly go to the next slide. And so these are the recessions, 81, 90, and 2020. And the zero line is how long it takes basically the economy gets back to the same size that it was prior to the recession. So basically you've had all the negative growth and then you've returned to where you were before. So this recession we had eclipsed 1990, 1981, but you can see that the economy with the recent shrink is now still behind where it was pre-pandemic. So this is this W-shaped growth that you would have been hearing about in the media as well. So expecting that we'd be back into the positive territory next time. And thanks to Callum Pickering at Indeed for tweeting that and enabling me to share it today. Okay, all right. So now what we'll do is that we'll go to Melbourne and we'll have a chat to Zara Morton about the temp of the month. To get us there, though, we've got a video with another opportunity, a payroll opportunity from Hannah that she's recruiting. So we'll take a look at that and we'll have a chat to Zara.
Hi guys, I'm Hannah from People2People Recruitment. I work on temporary and contract work within finance and accounting with my colleague Chris. At the moment, we are looking for an immediately available payroll officer to join a large and well-known FMCG company. This role is to use SAP and is a 9-month fixed-term contract. This will include 3 days a week working in the office and 2 days working from home. The office is located in Northmead. However, they do have parking available. If you are an experienced payroll officer and this sounds like something that you would be interested in, or if you know anyone who might be interested in this role, please feel free to email me at hannahc@people2people.com.au.
Hey, Zara. Great to see you again. It feels like only yesterday that we were sharing a glass of wine at Pepe's restaurant.
Yes, that was lovely. Nice to get out and celebrate in Melbourne, and to finally see you after all this time in person again.
Yeah, no, it was great to see the Melbourne team, and those who don't know that we've refurbished the Melbourne office and it looks fabulous. So it was great to be able to get on a plane in real life and chat to everybody. But we're not here to talk about that, are we, Zara? We're here to talk about the temp of month. But before we jump into the temp of month, actually, tell me about the Melbourne market. What's happening down there at the moment?
Yeah. So Mark, the Melbourne market is certainly buoyant at the moment. It's really hard to believe that Christmas is only 3 weeks away. We normally see signs of recruitment activity starting to slow down in September, but I can say that is certainly not the case. Rather, businesses are still actively recruiting, and the Melbourne branch is busy across all specialist areas, and that's both temp and perm. In accounting, the clerical market is particularly busy right now. Credit controllers are certainly in demand, and we have multiple opportunities across Melbourne. Duration of these assignments range from 3 to 6 months. Rates vary between $33 an hour plus super for AR admin to $38 an hour for the end-to-end credit controllers. And these assignments are a mix of full and part-time hours. And it's also really nice to see that businesses are offering hybrid work arrangements. So having the opportunity for these candidates to work a couple of days at home and a couple of days in the office as well.
Yeah, great. I mean, it is remarkable the recovery in Melbourne as versus or even say in Sydney, for example. I noticed the stats for Indeed were that the number of job ads are 109% higher than pre-COVID levels in Melbourne. It is a market that's on the move at the moment for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very exciting to see.
Yeah, excellent. All right. So temp of the month. So I'll hand over to you to take us through this month's winners.
Great. Thank you. So firstly, the winner for Parramatta is Rubina Yasmin. Her employer has said that she is a hardworking new joiner They've had to do many end of the year reviews of existing work, consolidation of reports and preparation for the year 2022. Rubina stays back to complete any tasks given to her. So congratulations, Rubina, on your win there. Moving on to Melbourne. So the Melbourne nominations are Deanna Wesson. Deanna has been amazing from her very first day. She is professional in her communication and how she presents herself. She has been easy to train, grasping concepts quickly and taking notes. The second nomination is Helen Leondis. Her manager says that she has an ever positive attitude and a solid work ethic, tackling a very challenging task and delivering great results. The third nomination is Nalaka Bandara. Nalaka is open to learning new tasks and has been approaching his reporting lines since starting to continually learn more. Nalaka always displays a positive energy and a big smile. The Melbourne winner, I'm proud to announce, is Nalaka Bandara. So congratulations, Nalaka, on your win there. Moving on to Sydney. The nominations for Sydney are Ashley McMaster. Ashley has been brilliant. She always has she's always been a very quick learner, problem solver, is great with customers and a team player. This month, she's been even more of a superstar. The second nomination is Leanne Harrington. As a recruiter, Leanne has hit the ground running and filled 2 roles within 3 weeks of starting, a great addition to the team. Happy to announce that the Sydney winner for the month of November is Ashley McMaster. So congratulations, Ashley. Moving on to Brisbane. So the nominations for Brisbane are Sothi Kangagaspi. I hope I pronounced that correct. Sorry. Sothi has worked through an incredible amount of detail in a complex system with very little guidance. Sothi has produced high quality output, which will make a big difference to the project. The second nomination is Cheyenne McCorkingdale. Cheyenne is such an asset to our team, a real keyboard warrior. We very much appreciate all of her efforts and a professional attitude towards all tasks allocated. Shy is a real pleasure to work with. And the winner for Brisbane is Cheyenne McCorkingdale. So congratulations, Cheyenne. The winner for New Zealand is Samshir Ali. So Sam is the definition of determination and dedication. He goes above and beyond to understand and get the job done and has been a saving grace to our team in many ways. We cannot thank him enough. So congratulations, Samshir Ali, on your win for the Temp of the month for November.
Fantastic. And it's great to see so many nominations. For those who are watching, think, well, how do I get nominated? The opportunity is given to managers when they approve timesheets to also include the nomination for any of our temporary and contract workers throughout Australia and New Zealand. And then we pull those together and we announce them once a month. So thanks, Zara. Thank you very much for joining us today. If somebody wanted to give you a quick call and say, hey, what's the market like in Melbourne? Or I'm an accounting professional, I'm looking for a job in Melbourne. How would they get in touch with you?
Yeah. So I think my details are have just been shown here and shared. But my direct line is 0390987432. Or feel free to email me as well on zara.morton, which is MORTON at people2people.com.au.
Fabulous. Fantastic. Great to see you again, Zara. And I look forward to visiting you all again in the new year. Yes, rightio. Let's now go north, and we're going to have a chat to Jamie Taylor, who is our supply chain specialist in Queensland. Now, Jamie, I don't know, you were in Sydney, you used to have this big beard, you've moved to Queensland and you've lost it. You've changed, clearly.
I have. It's time for a change. It's getting warm up here. That's why.
That's right, exactly. So actually, before we jump in to talk about the opportunity that you've got, how would, I mean, there's a lot of talk around supply chain at the moment, particularly with supply chain management. Supply chains are challenged globally. How's that affecting the recruitment market?
It's made it a lot harder to find good staff. I mean, the fact that the borders are still not really open properly, the disruptions that have been caused has really kind of made businesses reevaluate what they need, and often that means they need more resources. So they need more people, and a lot of businesses just can't get them right now. That's the challenge.
Right. Okay. And you've got a specific role in freight you wanted to talk to us about.
Yeah, so I've got a great opportunity available working with a true global leader in the logistics business who have a reputation spanning back over 100 years. So this company has operations all over the world. Here in Australia, they've got a massive presence as well. They're going through a pretty significant period of growth at the moment, which is really going to bring about some real genuine opportunities for growth and development within the company. I've got a role available which is working in the inner suburbs of Brisbane though, working as an air freight supervisor. So there's a team of about 8 people within the air freight team who look after both import and export operations. And they do this for a pretty diverse range of customers. So customers within the aerospace industry, defence, mining, and some fast-moving consumer good types products as well. So really interesting in the fact that you're not sort of dealing with the same product every day. It really keeps it engaging, I guess. And this role in particular is going to be really heavily focused on the leading and developing of the team and the point of escalation, getting them where they need to be. It's very heavily focused on customer relationship management too. Some of these customers are really quite large, well-known businesses who move a lot of product all over the world. So, you know, a lot of customer relationship management required on this one. And I think the other thing is really just overseeing the operation day to day. Like there's a lot of documentation that needs to be completed with this sort of work. So just making sure that everything is completed and compliant as it should be.
And what about the REM and benefits for this one?
Yeah, so remuneration package with this one is up to 90,000 plus super. The benefits, I guess I would say, are the hours are somewhat flexible for the right person. There is genuinely career development opportunities within the company as they grow. It's a very good team, very supportive culture within the team, and you're working with professionals. You're working with dedicated, passionate people who love what they do, and they just want to really get the best outcome for the customer.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that sounds like a great opportunity. If somebody wanted to have a chat to you about it, how do they go?
Yeah, give me a call directly on 0731180125, or you can reach me on email, which is jamie.taylor@peopletopeople.com.au.
Fantastic. All right. Great to talk to you. Good to see you.
Thanks,
again
Mark. You too.
On P2P Live. Maybe one day I can get to Queensland. I don't know. When
soon, right?
Soon. I mean, Melbourne was great, so it'll be great to go to Queensland as well. Rightio,
Absolutely.
Thanks for that, and we'll talk to you again soon. Now, it's Fill Job Friday. We have 3 temp jobs around the country that we need to fill today. So the first one that we've got is a temporary customer service role, and this one is actually based here in Sydney and Macquarie Park, paying $30 an hour. And the COVID outbreak has really pushed this business, and they do a lot of testing and pathology, and they need customer service reps to start immediately. Essentially, you need to be vaccinated because of the environment that you're in to start off with, the right to work in Australia, excellent written and verbal communication skills, and have customer service experience previously. And immediately they need people to start in Macquarie Park. The second one is in Brisbane. This is a return to work case officer. This is a 3-month assignment, $50 to $58 per hour. You need to have relevant tertiary qualifications coupled with a proven track record in return to work experience previously, a knowledge of work cover, good communication skills and interpersonal skills as well. That's based in the inner CBD of Brisbane. So if you're interested in that one, get in touch with Leanne in our Queensland office. All of the links to these roles are in the comments. If you have any, so you can jump on there and you can get in touch with everybody. The last one is a legal assistant based in Melbourne's CBD, $35 to $45 an hour. Start Monday. The rate is, the broad range there is because it really just determined by the level of experience that you have. So you need to have worked as a legal assistant supporting a partner in a corporate practice previously, and depending on what that level of experience is will determine the rate. It's an outstanding organisation, high quality. It would look great on your CV. So Melbourne, Brisbane and Sydney all looking for people to start on Monday. So jump onto those. Links are in the comments there as well. Right, let's wrap things up with our Twitter poll from last week. And there's a lot of talk at the moment about the Great Resignation. So we thought we'd put it out to the Twitterverse and say, hey, are you planning on changing roles within the next 6 months? Well, 44% of Australians, and I think we had about 800 or 900 people vote on this. So are you planning on changing roles within the next 6 months? And 44% said, no, I'm happy in my job. But 31% saying, yes, they need to change. And 25%, 24, I should say, maybe I'm considering it. Now, the interesting thing is that we ran this poll also in New Zealand, and the results were quite different. New Zealanders are less happy in their job. There was only 33%, I think 32% who were happy in their job. And the number of people that were looking for or maybe considering it was roughly the same. So there were a lot more people pent up, maybe because they've been in lockdown, particularly in places like Auckland, which have just opened up today, there's a lot of pent up energy to move and change jobs. Regardless, it is good to see those type of numbers, because our actually lived experience at the moment is that the number of applications for jobs is low, and there is still quite a bit of candidate hesitancy out there. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the new year. We thought as we head to Christmas with just 2 broadcasts to go, we'd ask you this question for next week. Is your work having their end of year Christmas party in person? So are you going to actually, in real life, have a beer with your colleagues or go to the Christmas party with your colleagues? I know that we are going to do that here at People to People in the various locations that we have. But are you going to do that? Yes, no, we're having it virtually, or no, it's been postponed. Jump onto our Twitter at People to People and please lodge your vote. That's it, everybody. Just 2 more P2P lives before we close up for the end of the year. We'll see you all again next week at 12:30. Thanks for joining us.